Like, what are some common misconceptions about you or your work, do you feel like?
Well, that's a good one. I would say the biggest one is I think people think we make content for kids and like, but
Ooh, that's a great one.
Yeah.
That's a great answer.
Yeah. And it's a lot of, because I've been famous, air quotes, I don't know, but for a while now. And the thing is, when I was like in my young, like 20 years, I'm 26 now. When I was like 20 or 21, I didn't have much experience with storytelling or like making these like videos with contestants and like how to like show what they were feeling or anything. So back then the videos came across a little like ADHD, like fast paced or whatever. Cause it's not like I had Christopher Nolan as a father teaching me. I was just learning storytelling as I was going. So a lot of my videos back then got a lot of views. And like same when I was like 22 or 23, but the last 3 years, we've really leveled up the storytelling and building characters, and especially the last 18 months, and gotten better at like making content that, people in their 20s and 30s would be like, well, this is like good and could enjoy. But because a lot of people haven't seen my newer videos and watched my older ones, they still think all my videos are like that. So they just kind of like push it off. So like when someone says like, your videos are too ADHD and you don't have any storytelling, I'll usually like show them like one or two of our newer videos. I'm like, oh my God, this is great. And I was like, yeah, let me guess, you just haven't seen a video in 2 years. I'm like, yeah. And so that kind of is a little bit of a misconception I'm constantly fighting.
Yeah, is that you're still like this kind of just entertainment for kids, or that your entertainment, your ability to entertain is also still junior?
Yeah, exactly. And so, which obviously younger people watch the videos.
Oh yeah,
but,
great.
I mean, I think like anyone, could watch that bunker video and be like, whoa, this is just high quality, entertaining stuff. It's not like you have to be.
That.
Yeah, it's not like you have to be.
The child inside of me liked it, and the adult inside of me liked it.
Exactly.
So
that would be one. I guess the other misconceptions of it is like, it looks like a lot of these videos just, it just looks like me and the boys having fun, because that's what I want it to look like. I want to put the boys in an environment where they're just themselves and things like that. I think people think what I do is a lot easier than it is. Like these things are monumental projects that are a bitch to fucking do. And it's like, and 100+ million people are going to watch it. And so everything's just got to be fucking great and perfect. But we don't have years to do these things. We're trying to do what most people do in a year, in 2 months. So it's like, it is tight timelines, and it's just, we don't have the budgets of these giant studios or anything when we're doing these YouTube videos. And it's just, it's very, very difficult. You know what I mean? Like I have hundreds of employees full time.
You do?
Yeah. That depend on that YouTube channel. You know what I mean?
At MrBeast Productions?
Yeah, I don't even know if I guess MrBeast Studios. But yeah, it's just a lot of pressure, because it's just a lot of people depend on it. And it's just absurd to think that I have all these employees and we're spending all this money, and I just assume like the magical YouTube algorithm, when I post this video, is just gonna give it to 100 million people every single time.
Wow.
And it's just like that's a lot of stress, and it's a lot of people who watch the content. It's just a lot of everything. It's a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. And it's like, if I don't film, then there's no video. So it's also not a typical business, because, you can, in any other company, you can replace basically anyone.
But you are the business.
Exactly. I am. Like literally, if I'm just like, for the next month, I don't want to film, the business is dead. You know what I mean? So it's like, I wouldn't, I just, it's a lot. It's just a lot.
No, it seems like a lot. But did you know it was going to be that much stress? Do you find that you like the stress? Like, I remember, even just for myself, right? Like, we have responsibilities now. We do like 6 episodes a month now.
Yeah.
And at first, I remember I could barely do 1 episode a week. Was tough. And some weeks it still is. But then some days I'll go through and it's like, this just starts to feel easier. I start to kind of acclimate to where I am. And then there's a part of my brain that's like, okay, well, now what can we do? But that same part of my brain is just the brain that forgets, like, fucking, we barely just got to this place.
Yeah.
And are we even okay here, right? Mm-hmm. So it's tough for me to like monitor the different parts of my brain, the one that wants to do more or try new things, and the one that also wants to make sure we're okay where we're at and not forget.
And be happy.
Right. And be happy. Yeah. It's like, so most of the time I work now, it's like, I guess what my question is like, fuck, I don't know what it is, man. Do you know what it is?
I get what you're trying to ask. It's like, how do you, which side of the pendulum are you swinging between being stressed and wanting to die constantly, or like prioritizing being happy and like that, basically?
Yeah. And are you able to battle that? Did you know you were as competitive or do you think you're competing against like the algorithm, or you want people to see it? Like, what is that thing that, are you able to notice, like, because I don't even know sometimes what drives me to do things or even want to learn more.
Yeah, I would say like you, I'm just incredibly competitive. I just love winning. And it's the thing is, I think people have a misconception. They like try to put everyone, especially famous people, in a box where it's like, this is what motivates them. And this one reason is why they do everything. And I believe you can be motivated by multiple things, right? Like one thing that pushes me is the fact that, a lot of my friends I grew up with work for me, right? And I don't want to ever have to fire them because we can't afford to pay them. I have people who, moved across the world to come work for me. So, that's one thing that motivates me, being able to provide for the people who risked everything. Another thing that motivates me is I just love entertaining people. And the fact that I get to entertain 100 million people or 200 million people or whatever it is, like I think our average videos are doing 200 million views in the first year. Like I know that's a thing that won't last forever, right? I mean, that's like, at some point, I'm not going to be able to upload something and 3% of the humans alive are going to watch it. You know what I mean? So part of it is I want to make sure I'm like taking advantage of the opportunity I have here, because this is like, and when I'm 40, I can't expect that. You know what I mean? Like, and so that's one. And another one is like, it just, for whatever reason, it just is like built in my blood. Like, this is just what I do. Like working is just what I live for. And like, I don't really know what else to do with my life. Like I'm just a machine that goes. And if I'm not working on something like stimulating and pushing and innovating, I just kind of get depressed. And like, I'm like, why am I alive? What am I doing?
Who do you get that from? Was one of your folks, you think?
No, I've just kind of always been like this. My mom hates it because I don't really celebrate wins or anything. I just always grinding on things. And I don't know. I think just some people are hardwired like that. And I think, but I think you just got to be who you are. Like that, it just is who I am. But there's other people who see my lifestyle, because I've talked about it on podcasts, and a lot of creators want to be like me, and then they end up scaling up bigger teams, and they end up trying to do videos like me, and then they find out they're miserable and they fucking hate it, and it's too much stress and pressure. And so I wouldn't advise this for most creators, right? Like I don't have work-life balance.
You don't
work. No,
yeah.
I'm like, there are some months where I film 28 days, and I still have to run festivals. I still do, film 28 days on the main channel. And then I film for our Beast Philanthropy channel. I still film stuff for TikTok because we have over 100 million followers on TikTok, and I have to do stuff on Instagram. I still have to network and do these things. And it's like, it's basically, if my eyes are open, it's like, I have a person whose job is just to help me basically write everything I want to accomplish on a whiteboard. It will take up the size of this wall, and it's like all my priors and things I could be doing, things I should be doing, things other people need me to be doing. And then, we'll just go in the next 7 days, I'll circle all the things I want to do ancillary on top of what naturally I have to do. And then he'll just like schedule out basically every second my eyes are open.
Wow.
And which is good, because it helps me. I sometimes fall into a trap of being reactive. Like, my content, channel needs me to film this. This needs festivals needs me to do this. But you're never going to achieve something great if you're just constantly like a ping pong ball being told what you need to do by your employees. So occasionally you need to be proactive and do other things that, other people wouldn't think of, and be a little bit more of a visionary. So doing that kind of helps make sure I'm prioritizing things correctly and things like that.